Happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome back. If it's your first time tuning in to me, my name's Angie, and I am a soul alignment mentor, which simply means that I help people to realign with their highest self, with their spirit, to understand who they are as a spiritual being. What happens in our life is we lose track of who we really are because we get programmed throughout our life by what we're taught to believe about ourselves. And so my mission on this earth is to help people to rediscover their true self and dismantle all the layers of lies and programming and the things that people have begin to believe about themselves that keep them stuck in their life or disconnected from the truth of who they really are and what they're capable of in this lifetime. And since it's Halloween, I wanted to give some information and teaching a little bit about our spirit and spirit guides and connecting with spirits. And I have a firm understanding in my own beliefs that we are all capable of having contact with the other side, is what we would call it as humans, to move into the awareness of other dimensions and have contact with loved ones on the other side, or spirits or spirit guides, angels, whatever it may be that you are seeking to connect with. And the reason I believe this is because I really truly have this understanding and belief that we are all spirit. We are all spiritual beings that came to earth to live a human life and to grow and to enhance in our understanding of who we are as a spirit. And right now on the earth, there is a huge shift in consciousness where people are coming to the understanding of this. When prior, just within the last 20 years, people were not as aware of this part of their being. We kind of just assumed that this human life is just what it is, and we went along with it. And now you see a lot of people kind of going against status quo, wanting to step into what they believe their soul mission is on this earth, and wanting to get them to know themselves in a more spiritually enhanced way instead of just the human mind's idea of who we really are. And something that Spirit has been teaching me for quite a while, and then in the last week, there's been several opportunities for me to provide a teaching to those that I work with, where I've been working on helping people understand how to connect with this part of themselves. And I thought, since today was Halloween and it can be kind of spooky and woo-woo, it might be a fun day to talk about this part of ourself, our higher self, our the ghost part of ourself, we might say, if we're talking about Halloween. And the way that my spirit guides explained it to me, this happened probably a year ago when I was really seeking to hear a little bit more on how I could comprehend and teach to others what it meant to be a spiritual being in a human body. And if you come from religion, or any kind of a background where you were taught religious beliefs about spirituality, about God, about yourself, you may have had some teachings within that setting about God being three energies of God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, I come from a background that way in religion. And if you read my first book, Leaf Lessons, in that book, I write the memoir of growing up and my time that I had in the church, and then my sudden weird spiritual awakening that I had in my backyard when I heard my spirit guides very clearly for the first time speak to me about who I really was and what I was meant to be doing on the earth. And ever since, I have been aligning myself with that mission. Now, the way that my spirit guides explain to me, that is a very simple way to understand who we are as a spirit. And this will help you get in touch with your own abilities to maybe contact or work with spirits on the other side, but also with your own intuition. I think a lot of us have had moments where we might be doing something or about to do something. We think about somebody and suddenly they call us, or we go to the store and we think, hey, I might this person popped in my head, and then you suddenly see them there. Like all these weird synchronicities might happen in your life, and you might wonder, well, how did I know that? How did that happen that way? And the way that my guides explained it to me was in this way. And so let me break it down simply for you. They use the element of water to explain who we are. They explain that our body is like the ice. So we are dense, we have form, we are, there's a actual physical part of us as a human. And then our soul is the water. And so the water is what brings us life. The soul comes into the water, it heats up the eyes, heats up the body, it keeps it alive. And the soul is what basically indwells our human self to bring it life. Then we have what we would call vapor, or if you want to think of steam. Sometimes I like to explain this as the fog. Like if you were to go out on a um, morning, like mostly in the summer, there's could be a fog that kind of just overshadows the entire area that you're in. And what's really interesting about this fog is that it is on everything and around everything, but you can walk through it. There's no physical form to it. It's not a barrier for you to move through it. It can be hard to see, but it doesn't require you moving something out of the way to move through the fog. And so our spirit would be considered more of that kind of a vapor, like a fog energy. And when we look at our whole being as water, as an element of water with the ice, the actual liquid of water, and then the vapor, we can begin to see ourselves as the spiritual being, as a whole being. And so what is happening is our soul is in our human body and our spirit remains part of the higher dimensions and this vapor around us. So you might hear people talking about our aura or our energy field, and that spirit around us really works along with our energy. Now, our human body can get tangled up with the human feelings, emotions, trauma, things that get stuck in the physical body. And this is what causes sickness in your body. It can cause you to feel off in your body, or maybe mental shame or guilt or anxiety. A lot of the things that we get stored in our body manifest as symptoms in the body. So when we clear the body out of, we clear it of those things that manifest from the what we would call lower dimension feelings in the spiritual community, we are able to realign ourselves, which is that soul alignment that I teach to my students and clients, is reconnecting with the soul, the spirit, the water within you. And the more you do that, the more you release that, the more you work on reprogramming your mind, opening your energy, healing your energy, the more you get in touch with that bigger, broader part of yourself, which is your spirit. And our spirit is eternal. It is all encompassing. It's never ending. It's all things at all times. There is no timeline. There's no space. There's nothing that contains our spirit. It is the soul that is squished into the human body in some way. And so as the spirit is expanded in all places and all times, this is where our intuition can come back and reconnect with our soul in our body and gives us messages about things. And so when you get that weird thought about a friend that suddenly calls you, or you're going to the grocery store and you think, oh, I might see so and so, and then you walk in and see them, that is your spirit, your higher self is what we might call it, already in that timeline and reporting back to you, the soul and the human part, that that event is taking place. Because in the spirit's understanding, without time, it is already taking place. But we are a little bit more slow in the human form because we are in a dense energy. And when we catch up to it, we begin to get the message and then see it play out in our lives. So the way that we can get in touch with this part of ourselves is through meditation. I have a 7-week course where I teach people how to reconnect with their energy, clear the energy, heal their energy. But I'm certified in meditation and mindfulness, and I use this to teach people to be still so they can eliminate all the things around them that cause them to disconnect from being able to hear from this part of themselves. And so, as you realign with your spirit and start to see yourself differently outside of just the human understanding of what you've been taught to believe about yourself, you can start to get in touch with these different parts of yourself. And in many ways, this opens you up into a broader perspective of your life and things you can accomplish and how you can accomplish them. And people might talk about like manifesting things that they desire in their life. And when we clear out all the clutter and we open ourselves back up to our higher perspective, to the spirit that is all things at all times, we can understand that the desire we have that seems to be in the future, our spirit already sees it, it already is there, and we can reconnect with that and draw it into our perspective in the now. And so when we move into the alignment where we clear out the clutter and we let go of the anxiety, we let go of fear, we let go of the programming of who we've been taught to believe we are, we come back into a wholeness, and therefore we're able to see our lives in a new perspective. And this perspective is very healing, it's expanding, it's loving, and it will help you to connect with your loved ones and spirit guides and spirits on the other side that would like to support you through your time on this earth. And so, again, if you would like support, I would love to help you. I do have the 7-week course that I do mentoring with. You can choose to do it on your own, or I can help you along with that process with a weekly one-on-one session. But also check out my books, Leaf Lessons and Composting the Ego, and they might help enhance you and give you some more understanding on how to begin this as well. So I'm excited to hopefully hear from some of you. I would love if you reached out and let me know how that goes for you. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Have a beautiful and lovely Halloween, and I hope you have fun today. Thank you.